What if your first words each morning were secretly shaping your health? Because after 65, your mind doesn't just listen to your doctor, it listens to you. You wake up with heaviness, not just in your body, but in your thoughts. You forget what used to come easily. Doubt creeps in. The silence gets louder. But what if 5 simple sentences could reverse that? Not motivational fluff, but phrases rooted in Shaolin practice and modern neuroscience. In this video, you'll discover why your morning voice matters more than your vitamins, how to rewire your memory, mood, and mental strength in under 5 minutes, the exact words that real people use to rediscover peace, purpose, and power, and what happens after just 7 days will surprise you, because what happens next changes everything. After age 65, your mind needs more protection than ever, not from illness or others, but from your own thoughts. Many seniors guard their joints, their diet, their heart, but they leave their inner voice unguarded, and that quiet neglect can become dangerous. The Shaolin monks say, the tongue is a sword or a shield. What you speak either wounds your spirit or defends your peace. Every word, especially in the morning, lays a track in your nervous system. Repeating negative phrases digs a mental trench, and trenches become traps. Most people wake up and say, I didn't sleep well, or another day. These tiny sentences seem harmless, but they echo. The subconscious listens. It believes you, and then it follows your command. A tired phrase creates a tired brain. But there's another way. The first words you speak in the morning set the tone for your entire emotional landscape. They act like tuning forks, vibrating through your posture, your breath, your choices. When you start the day with strength, it becomes easier to carry that strength. Even when challenges arise, think of morning sentences as armor, not a mask but protection, not denial but design. You're not pretending everything's perfect. You're choosing the mental state that allows you to respond rather than react. And that difference shapes your day, your week, your life. Most people never hear this. No one teaches seniors to speak to themselves with strategy. But the Shaolin do. And their lives, minds, and spirits stay strong into old age. You don't need to be a monk. You just need to start speaking like your future depends on it, because it does. If this is new to you, comment, I never knew that. Your awareness is step 1. Your words aren't just sounds, they're signals. When you speak, your brain listens. It doesn't question your truth, it accepts it. Every phrase you repeat creates a pattern. That pattern becomes your mood, and your mood becomes your behavior. Speaking positive intention isn't just spiritual, it's chemical. Neuroscience shows that affirming language releases dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These aren't just feel-good hormones, they're healing agents. They rebuild neural pathways. And it all starts with your voice. Your subconscious is like wet clay. It's shaped by repetition. When you say, I'm too old, or I can't remember, the clay hardens around those beliefs. But speak strength. I am sharp. I am calm, and the shape shifts. Your biology follows your vocabulary. Mental decline often begins not in the brain, but in the dialogue. Self-criticism is the slow erosion of vitality. Doubt, shame, regret, they age you faster than time ever could. But self-compassion, spoken daily, becomes a shield against that erosion. Shaolin monks know this. That's why their rituals are filled with mantras. Not empty chants, strategic sentences. Spoken with breath. Spoken with purpose. Each phrase is a thread in the net that holds their mind steady. You can weave your own net too. You don't need to believe the words at first. You just need to say them. Repetition creates resonance. What feels fake today feels familiar tomorrow. What feels weak now becomes powerful with use. The mind doesn't need hype. It needs truth spoken often. Hit the like button if you've ever felt the power of words positive or negative. Change after 65 hits differently. It's not just routines that shift its identity. Health changes, friends pass, roles evolve, and with each change, anxiety can quietly tighten its grip. But calmness is not the absence of change. It's the skill to meet it with strength. Sentence, "I am calm in the face of change," is not wishful thinking. It's an instruction, a reminder that you can be the anchor in the storm. Calm isn't a gift some are born with. It's a practice, a habit. And this phrase is your first step. When spoken with breath, this sentence resets your nervous system. Try it now. Inhale slowly. Say the words, exhale fully. You're not just talking, you're rewiring. Calm is a chemical, a frequency. And this phrase helps you tap into it on demand. Shaolin monks pair breath with speech. It's a physical anchoring, a way to make words enter the body, not just hover in the mind. You don't need robes or incense. You just need presence. And a willingness to try, even when you feel tense. Say it in the mirror. Say it while cooking. Say it with your eyes closed in bed. Each repetition is like planting a flag, not to deny fear, but to declare that calm will walk beside you. Fear shrinks. When calm is called by name. Change won't stop, but your reaction can evolve. And when it does, so does your experience. Say the sentence even when you don't feel calm. That's the point. It trains your system to respond, not collapse. Your body remembers what your voice repeats. Say it out loud now, then comment calm if you felt something shift there. Say aging means forgetting, slowing, fading. But that's not a rule, it's a myth. Your brain is not glass. It's clay, malleable, shapeable. And this sentence, "My mind is still sharp and growing," is the sculptor's tool. Every time you say it, you're telling your neurons to keep connecting, to build new pathways. Studies prove that belief in mental growth increases actual memory and learning. The sentence doesn't just change your mood, it changes your mind. Growth mindset isn't reserved for the young. In fact, after 65, it's more powerful. It becomes your brain's daily exercise. This phrase is like a mental weight you lift every morning. And like any muscle, the mind responds to repetition and challenge. Shaolin monks train memory into old age, not with textbooks, but with mantras, form sequences, stories. They stretch their minds like they stretch their bodies, because they know a mind in motion stays alive. A mind repeated into silence withers. Say this sentence slowly. Stand tall. Look into a mirror if you can. Feel the words press into your posture. My mind is still sharp and growing. Even if you forgot something yesterday, even if your thoughts feel foggy, this phrase breaks the spell. You become what you rehearse. This sentence is a rehearsal of clarity, of confidence, of mental youth. No pill does this. No one else can do this for you, but your voice can. If you choose to speak strength into your own story, comment sharp if you're claiming this. Truth today regret is heavy. It lingers in quiet places: your breath, your joints, your sleep. After 65, many carry a suitcase of old decisions, packed tight with shame. But forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's freeing. And this sentence opens the lock. I forgive my mistakes and I keep going. Forgiveness isn't for the past. It's for your future. Each time you repeat this sentence, your mind softens. Your breath deepens. Your heart makes room. Carrying guilt is like walking with weights quietly exhausting. But self-forgiveness? That's how you put them down. Neuroscience confirms it. Releasing self-blame improves focus, emotional regulation, even physical health. It clears brain fog, It restores clarity. And you don't need a perfect past to build a peaceful present. You just need to speak this truth again and again. The Shaolin believes strength includes letting go, not weakness wisdom. They teach, what you grip too long grips you back. This sentence isn't an excuse, it's a decision. To stop punishing, to start rebuilding, to become your own ally, not your old judge. Say it aloud when your inner critic speaks up. Say it after you forget something, snap at someone, or fall short of your own expectation. Don't wait for perfection. Speak it in the mess. That's where its power lives. Forgiveness works best in real time. This sentence clears emotional space. And in that space, growth happens. Healing happens. Life happens. You are not your past. You are your next sentence. And this one could be the beginning of everything. Type, I forgive in the comments if you're releasing something today. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet act of rising from bed, of facing another day despite fatigue or fear. And yet, we forget it. We focus on what's lost instead of what still stands. That's why this sentence matters. I am grateful for my strength. Gratitude activates serotonin, a chemical that builds resilience. When you speak thanks, especially for yourself, you fuel the mind's recovery system. This isn't fluff, it's biology. Your brain heals better when it hears that you still believe in it. Most people over 65 downplay their strength. They confuse humility with silence. But gratitude isn't boasting, it's blessing. Every time you say this sentence, you remind your body what it still carries. Your spine straightens, your spirit steadies. You remember who you are. The Shaolin don't ignore their scars. They praise the strength that came through pain. They bow to what endured. I am grateful for my strength is a way of bowing to your resilience, your lessons, your ability to adapt. That praise becomes fuel. Say it after lifting something, after a walk, after a hard conversation. Not just when you feel strong, but to build that feeling. Because every cell in your body listens to what you bless. And what you bless grows. This sentence isn't about being done. It's about being still going. It's a powerful reminder that no matter your age, your strength didn't vanish. It simply waits to be acknowledged. And once acknowledged, it returns. Hit like if you've ever forgotten how strong you really are. Not every day is easy, but every day is a gift. Even the ordinary ones, especially the hard ones. This sentence, today is a gift I will fully use, is not just optimism. It's a vow, a way to turn existence into experience, time into treasure. This phrase rewires your brain to find meaning. Gratitude alone lifts mood, but gratitude plus intention transforms your state of being. It makes you an active participant in your life, not a passive observer. You begin to use the day instead of letting it use you. Studies show seniors who begin the day with spoken purpose report higher energy, better memory, and deeper contentment. This sentence doesn't fix the pain, but it brings presence into it, and presence is power. Even if you just wash dishes with more soul, you've won. Shaolin monks begin every day with this mental bow, not to perfection, but to potential. They don't ask, will this day be good? They ask, how will I show up for it? That question changes everything. So does this phrase. Repeat it before you rise. Whisper it while stretching. Say it with your tea. Today is a gift I will fully use. Speak it even on slow, foggy days. Especially then, because some of the best chapters in life are disguised as ordinary mornings. You don't need a big plan, just a real presence. Use this sentence like a spark. Let it warm your thoughts, your breath, your steps. The day won't always be easy. but it will always be yours. And that alone makes it worth using fully. Comment gift below if you're ready to treat today like a treasure. Many people over 65 stop speaking to themselves kindly, not because they don't care, but because they've been trained not to. They've been taught that self-talk is selfish, that humility means silence, but this silence becomes self-neglect, quietly corrosive, quietly dangerous. With age, people speak more gently to others, but forget to offer the same grace to themselves. They comfort friends, uplift family, encourage strangers. But inside, the voice is cold, dismissive. You're slipping. You should have done better. These words shape decline. Mental silence is often misread as peace, but sometimes it's resignation, a surrender of voice. The problem is that silence doesn't protect you. It sabotages you. It allows old fears and judgments to echo louder. What's unspoken often becomes the strongest force. Shaolin wisdom says, speak to yourself as you would to your youngest student. That means patience, encouragement, curiosity, even correction, but always with care. Because the student will only rise to the tone you set, and your brain, it's always listening. Many seniors say, I don't like affirmations. That's not truth, it's unfamiliarity. Because repetition feels awkward at first. But so did walking, talking, living in a new body. Familiarity comes through usage, and usage leads to transformation. Words aren't magic, but they are mirrors. When you speak strength, you start to see it. When you speak compassion, you start to feel it. Most people don't say these sentences not because they don't work, but because they've forgotten they're allowed. To be honest, do you talk kindly to yourself? Comment yes or not yet. Shaolin monks begin their day not with coffee, but with clarity. The ritual starts in stillness. Before a single step, they speak, not to others, but to themselves. With full breath, with full presence. These words are not casual. They are sacred. Each sentence is spoken aloud, not whispered. Why? Because sound carries energy. Words spoken with breath travel through the body. They echo in the chest, settle. In the stomach, vibrate through the spine. This is not symbolic. It's physiological. Shaolin believe each word has a weight, a resonance. It enters the body like food, but faster. It touches the nervous system before breakfast. What you say at sunrise nourishes or poisons your mind and organs for the entire day. Every sentence is paired with breath. Inhale slowly, speak with control, exhale fully. This isn't just chanting. It's regulation, a way to sync the mind with the body, to set a tone of calm power that stays long after the morning ends. They don't just say the words. They mean them, slowly, clearly, like planting seeds. And with each day, those seeds root deeper until they become truth, until the mind naturally reaches for calm, for clarity, for strength, without force. Just flow. You may never wear robes or train in temples, but your morning voice can become just as powerful. If you speak your sentence aloud, if you breathe with it, if you give it the weight it deserves. What you say before food feeds your soul. Want to learn the full Shaolin morning ritual? Subscribe now. I'll show you step dash by dash step dot. Say the sentences. Once you feel a moment, say them for 7 days. You begin a shift. Your thoughts slow. Your breath deepens. Your mornings feel less chaotic. Something inside you starts to settle. Repetition doesn't just plant the seed. It waters it. After just a week, emotional reactivity begins to fade. That sharp response to small frustrations, softer. That rising wave of doubt, quieter, because you've given your mind new instructions. Not to react, but to respond. Not to panic, but to breathe. Memory improves not by magic, but by focus. Repeating empowering words retrains your attention span. You remember your intentions. You remember who you're becoming. And that remembering shapes how you move through the day. Your posture shifts subtly. You stand taller without noticing. You inhale deeper. Even your face relaxes. Because the body listens to the messages it receives. And when those messages are gentle, firm, hopeful, the body follows. Family and friends may say, "You seem different." Not louder, not busier, but clearer, more present. That's the power of daily intention. It doesn't just affect you, it radiates outward. It lifts the room. And it starts with one quiet choice each morning. You'll notice something else. 2. Energy. Not from caffeine, from alignment. From reduced inner conflict. You're no longer fighting yourself. You're guiding yourself. And that guidance creates energy, not by pushing, but by flowing. Try these for 7 days and comment "I did it" below. When you finish, it starts with a phrase. "I can't remember." You say it once, then again. Then it becomes your reality. This isn't just a thought, it's a command. The brain believes what it hears. And your words shape the architecture of your mind. "I'm too old." That sentence doesn't just express defeat, it teaches it. Every repetition becomes reinforcement. The neurons fire together, wire together, and soon the belief becomes biology. The more you say it, the more your mind stops trying. It's too late. One of the most dangerous phrases a senior can speak, because it closes doors that were still open. It steals motivation. It shrinks possibility. It doesn't reflect reality. It creates limitation where there was still room for growth. That the Shaolin understand this well. They teach the mouth can poison the mind. That's not metaphor, it's strategy. They guard their words like warriors guard gates. Because once negativity enters, it multiplies. The first step to strength is silence. From self-harm, you become the phrases you feed yourself. Every day, you build or break your spirit with your language. You are either planting clarity or chaos, courage or collapse. And it's happening with the very tool meant to heal you, your own voice. The solution isn't to be blindly positive. It's to be consciously constructive, to interrupt the old patterns with new truth. I am still sharp. I am becoming. I am not done. These words don't ignore reality. They reshape it. What's one phrase you're ready to stop saying? Comment and release it to. Don't find mental strength. Like a lost object, you build it. Like muscle, like endurance, like peace. Every morning is an opportunity, no matter how tired, stiff, or afraid you feel. Strength begins when you choose not to give up on yourself. Morning rituals shape daily resilience. Not because they're magical, but because they're consistent. The brain thrives on rhythm. When you speak power before the world speaks fear, you take control of the tone. That's how warriors prepare. In advance, that the mind doesn't want motivation. It wants leadership. And your voice is the leader. Even when you feel weak, your voice can declare strength. And the body listens. The heart listens. Eventually, the emotions catch up. Not immediately, but they do. Consistency matters more than intensity. You don't need to chant for hours. You need to show up, one sentence, spoken with breath, spoken with intention, every day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. That's when it matters most. The Shaolin monks don't wait to feel strong. They act strong. They speak strength, move strength, breathe strength. Over time, the action creates the feeling. That's not pretending. That's training. And anyone including. You can do the same. Strength isn't loud. It's steady. And when you show up daily for your mind, it begins to trust you. That trust becomes focus. That focus becomes peace. And that peace becomes your new baseline. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. If you're choosing strength daily, hit like and let YouTube know this message matters. Many seniors suffer in silence, not because they want to, but because they don't know another way. They think no one else feels lost, foggy, or forgotten. But they're wrong. And one shared sentence could be the moment they start healing. Mental health after 65 is rarely discussed. There are resources for hearts, joints, and vision. But what about the voice inside the mind? That voice needs care. And you, simply by sharing these words, could become someone's unexpected light. Sometimes love isn't shown through big actions, it's whispered through small ones. Try saying this. Say it with me. A single sentence, spoken together, can restore dignity, hope, connection. These words aren't just for you. They're for us. These sentences can become a shared ritual, something to say with a partner, a child, a friend. Speak them before coffee, on walks, over the phone. Let the words become a bridge, not just between minds, but between hearts, because words are action. Every sentence you pass on is a hand reaching out, and someone you care about may be waiting for that hand, waiting for a sign that it's okay to believe again, to begin again, to feel strong again. You don't need to explain everything. Just share. The words will do the work. They carry energy, memory, life, and when spoken by someone who cares, they become medicine. For the soul, the spirit, the story of a life not yet finished. Know someone who needs this? Share this video now. It may save their spirit. Meet Louisa, 67. After her husband passed, mornings became her enemy. She felt empty until she began whispering one sentence. Today is a gift I will fully use. At first, it felt fake, but within a week, she started watering her plants again, then walking, then smiling. Renato, 70, struggled with anxiety for years, racing thoughts, tight chest. But one morning, he stood in front of the mirror and said, I am calm in the face of change. Slowly, his breath followed the words. His nervous system began to settle. He felt peace for the first time in years. Vera, 74, had lost her sense of identity after retiring. She felt invisible, disconnected. But she began saying, my mind is still sharp and growing. She returned to art. She joined a local class. The sentence didn't just affirm her, it reintroduced her to herself. Each of them had one thing in common: repetition. Not motivation, not energy, just the quiet choice to speak a sentence every morning, to interrupt the inner critic, to rehearse. Healing. Over time, that choice became a new rhythm, a new life. They didn't change overnight. They missed days, they doubted, but they came back, and in coming back, they built resilience. Their minds began to trust their voice again. That trust, that was the turning point. Not the words, but the willingness to keep speaking them. They say healing begins with awareness. But awareness alone isn't enough. You must speak it. Give it shape, sound, breath. Like Louisa, like Renato, like Vera. These sentences became their bridge from silence to selfhood. They can be yours too. Did one of these stories remind you of someone? Tag them in the comments. It's not about repeating empty words. It's about building a rhythm that your mind can trust. A ritual that becomes your anchor. Your morning sentence practice is a ceremony, 5 minutes, that can shape the next 24 hours. And it starts with speaking aloud. Speak them out loud. Don't just think them. Your voice carries power. It activates your breath, your posture, your energy. Whisper if you must, but speak. Your body needs to hear your truth to believe it. Your cells respond to sound. Before you begin, take a breath. Stand or sit tall. Feel the ground. Inhale through your nose and say your sentence slowly. Exhale with intention. That breath is the bridge between your words and your nervous system. Don't skip it. It's the entry point. Stand tall when you speak. Not for others, but for your own alignment. Posture influences confidence. The words land differently in a slouched body. Straighten your spine. Open your chest. Let the sentence flow through a vessel that's ready to hold it. Say each sentence slowly. Let it echo. It's not a chant race. It's a blessing. One sentence, one breath, one moment of clarity. Feel where the words land. In your chest, your stomach, your throat. That's the energy center waking up. And say them even when you don't feel like it. Especially then. That resistance, that's the doorway. Walk through it. Speak anyway. The voice that shows up on hard days becomes your strongest ally. That's how rituals become unbreakable. Comment, I'm starting this tomorrow. If you're building your ritual now, say the sentences daily for 30 days. And something subtle but powerful begins to shift. Your thoughts feel lighter. Your mood becomes more stable. It's not that life gets easier. It's that your mind gets stronger. That strength starts showing up in everything. Attention sharpens. You'll notice small details again. The breeze on your skin, the smell of tea, the way your body moves. These aren't accidents. They're signs that your brain is returning to presence. That you're no longer just surviving the day, you're inhabiting it. Emotional resilience increases. Stress still comes, but it doesn't drown you. The words you repeat act like internal buffers. You don't spiral as fast. You catch yourself sooner. You respond instead of react. That is the quiet triumph of consistent morning intention. Your breath changes too. Without forcing. Without trying. It deepens. Slows. Your nervous system begins to live in calm rather than chase it. That shift affects everything: digestion, focus, mood, even your posture. And it all started with 5 spoken sentences. Peace. In solitude grows. You don't fear the quiet like before. The silence no longer feels empty. It feels spacious, comfortable. That comfort? That's your voice becoming your companion instead of your critic. You are becoming your own best mentor. And the joy? It returns. Not always loud. Sometimes just in the way your shoulders feel relaxed, or the way you smile without reason. The joy doesn't shout. It hums. It hums because you've made space for it. And that space was carved by words your own. If you commit to this for 30 days, type 30 days strong in the comments. They say aging weakens the body, but they never mention how silence weakens the soul. Your voice may have quieted with time, but its power hasn't faded. It's waiting to speak strength, peace, presence. And now, it's time to reclaim it. You're not too old to speak with purpose. You're too wise not to. Every morning sentence is a choice, a declaration, a ritual. And rituals shape reality. One voice, especially yours, can shift the entire tone of your day, and someone else's too. Shaolin wisdom says, the tone can heal or harm. Your voice can become medicine. Not for others only, but for yourself. Say the words, even softly, even shakily. Because your voice, spoken with intention, is one of the strongest forces in your life. You've seen how these sentences work. You've felt the small shifts, the release, the return of clarity. You don't need perfect grammar or spiritual training. You just need willingness, your breath, and the courage to believe you still matter. Because you do matter, and so do your words. Speak like someone whose future depends on it, because it does. Speak like someone whose past deserves forgiveness, because it does. Speak like someone who still has power, because you do. This isn't the end of your ritual. It's the beginning of a new relationship with your voice, your mind, your morning. Don't let the silence win. Let your words rise like sunlight. Over your day, comment, "My words have power," if this video awakens something in you. Like, share, and subscribe. We rise together. You've just learned the 5 sentences that could reshape your mornings and your mind. Now the question is, will you say them? Will you let your voice become your medicine? Because mental strength isn't inherited. It's practiced. Every breath, every word, every choice to speak power instead of passivity. So ask yourself, which sentence did your heart need most today? Which one will you speak tomorrow, no matter what mood you wake up in? And who in your life needs to hear one of these today? You don't need to be perfect, just present. Your voice has always had the power. Now, you know how to use it. If this resonated, share with a fellow senior seeking vitality. If this gave you new clarity, click to keep the journey going. Next video is vital. Let's flourish together.